Welcome, everybody. I believe this is podcast number 4 of our kind of introductory overview of the Sharegiver Solutions approach to caregiving. And for the record, caregivers will now consistently be referred to as sharegiving. And we've spoken about mindset. We've spoken about game plan. Today, we're going to talk about another critical element of help for the sharegiver, and that is networks. And quickly, networks refers to the personal network of family and friends who can be extremely helpful in participating in the sharegiving experience. The mutual aid network of the many, many millions of people in the same situation as David and so many others find themselves. And third, a professional network, which is more on the practical side of sharegiving, but involves legal issues, medical issues, practical issues. So, Davey, take off.
Okay. Thanks, Rob. So when we talk about networks, we're talking about support networks. And it goes right to the essence of sharegiving, that we are sharing our experience with people that can help us. We are asking for help, but we're also creating givers, enabling people to give that is rewarding not just to the receiver, myself, or the sharegiver, but to those same people. And we break it down into several different networks, that being personal, which is family and friends, professional, which is the whole galaxy of professionals that one comes in contact with when you are caring for somebody. And finally, Rob mentioned the mutual aid network of other sharegivers really around the globe who can share their experience together and achieve a sense of solidarity and comfort and shared recognition, and ultimately a very powerful advocacy for changing the current situation, which has really been addressed mostly by silence. So let's take them in order. The first thing is creating a personal support network. And in each of these cases...
let me jump in for 1 sec.
Yeah.
You talked about these networks as the purpose for which is to help you. As you and I have spoken, and I've found through speaking with people in very, very difficult situations, from a woman who lost her son in Afghanistan to children who were suffering PTSD from their homes being destroyed by Storm Sandy, that in the most difficult situations, I have found from experts and from people I've interviewed that perhaps the most powerful and sometimes the only way of recovering or responding positively to a negative, what could be a negative situation, is actually helping others.
Correct.
So you're receiving your help from people, but I think it's critical that you feel you can also be of help to these people.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Somebody once said to me when I somebody gave me a gift that I already had. And so I was going to give it back and say, well, I already have it. And somebody else said to me, no, accept it. It's a blessing for them to give it to you. Accept it gratefully. And never forgot that. So, yeah, you're exactly right. So, listen, a key to this is, and to any of these things, to do it effectively, to build a support network, you have to have certain objectives in mind. So I call it creating a map, or, sort of an audit of what your needs are. What are your needs personally? Is it respite? Is it somebody giving you a break? Is it somebody being on call if you need to run out all of a sudden? Maybe it's run out for a longer period of time. Maybe it's planned so that you can count on somebody bringing a dinner once a week or coming for lunch.
That's your bullpen analogy.
It is the bullpen. It's long relief, short relief, and the fireman. And but you need to know what it is you need, and then you look at who you'd like to call upon. Clearly, it's your family, because everybody's caught up in their own lives. Everybody wants to help, but unless they're given an opportunity, they don't necessarily seek it, even though it's counterintuitive. They want to help, but they don't seek it. Well, that's for many reasons, and that applies to friends as well. So you do an audit of your needs, a map of who's out there that can help you, the kind of assistance they could provide, and then you create sort of a scorecard. You create a calendar. You let people know that you would like some help, and here are the different things they could do over some period of time, and they can choose.
Well, before you move on, I think clearly one of the reasons that people are reluctant to say, hey, what can I do, or come over, is fear, or they feel they're ill-equipped to step into this difficult situation and have an impact. They certainly don't want to do damage, and they don't want to feel inept or awkward.
It's a great point. So along with that, you have to provide some orientation. For anybody that's helping, you have to share with them what is the condition, of their friend or their family member, and give them some modest training of what they might expect and how to succeed in that limited role. And so what you're doing is you are equipping them. You're making them better. You're giving them a chance to give and overcome, as you point out, that could be a fear, could be just discomfort that their old friend doesn't recognize them, or that the idea that this could happen to somebody they knew who was so strong and capable.
Or to them.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So that's extended to, it could happen to me. So, the orientation is necessary, but you're really empowering them. Mm-hmm. So that's sort of your personal network. And it is really worth going through your Rolodex of friends and family and giving everybody a chance to participate.
And probably recognize who's better equipped for what situation.
Exactly. There are certain people that really would feel great about bringing a dinner once a week.
Sure.
Others that would really like to go for a walk, even if it's just in the garden. So, yeah. The second network is the professional network. And this, too, requires creating a map of all the people that provide guidance or care. You're going to ask them to even be more active in their support. You're going to explain what you need from your family doctor, maybe the neurologist, the elder care lawyer, the personal finance person. All of these people have reaches into your life as a caregiver in taking care of your partner.
And have knowledge.
And have knowledge. And so you're going to not just go through your files to see what you've got. You're going to ask them for a snapshot periodically of where Barbara is, what may have changed, what we need to attend to, whether it's legally, medically, financially, personally. And so you turn them into active givers, not just professional support. And again, mapping your needs as against who's providing it or who you might need to provide it. As you learn more, maybe you feel you need to look at medications again and you need a psychopharmacologist, or you are concerned that you want to check on your partner's neurology, which you haven't done in years, like I'm doing with Barbara, where I've scheduled a PET scan for Wednesday, which will tell me the relative areas of the brain and what's more and less affected. So anyway, professional network. Be active in seeking their help, and they will feel better for it as well. It's the same thing as friends and family. And then,
hopefully they will.
Hopefully.
Otherwise, you have to find providers who will
Correct.
embrace the role of going a little bit outside their professional relationship to help.
Yeah, it's actually a good point, because we presume that people want to help, and I think generally they do. That said, professionals increasingly who are on the clock may see this being above and beyond what they're usually called upon to do. But the effort should be made. Mm-hmm. You are building a network. You want the help, and you want to empower them to be givers. The last area, and as you introduced, is a mutual aid network. And I think this is really exciting. This is tapping into that network of sharegivers that over time share the same philosophy of share giving, that part of sharing is sharing their experience with each other, not in a way of just misery loves company, in the way of here are tools, here's what works for me, here's how I have been able to flourish under circumstances that are difficult, or just being there for each other as a growing group, a support group that feels an imperative to help each other. And in doing that, builds through that kind of solidarity, I think creates a greater and greater movement of advocacy, power for a cure, for treatment.
Well, I think even before you get there, initially, my thought from the beginning and still is what the support network does initially is make you understand that you're not alone. And I think that feeling of being on an island is crippling to a caregiver. And I think once you feel you've got that safety net, at least, or a shared experience with many other people, it's got to add an extreme level of comfort that you wouldn't otherwise have. And it's an opportunity, again, for you to receive help and for you to provide help.
Right. So, yeah, all three of these are powerful and important. And I think the caregiver that pays attention to it, takes the time, and one of the things that we want to do is help people to do that by actually providing the formatting for doing that. That is a great source of confidence, and it is empowering, and people can feel, wow, I can do this. So,
and those are three networks Sharegiver Solutions is going to help provide. I think the mutual aid network is critical. We see this as an enormous network of people sharing the experience, sharing information, sharing comfort, advice, and just sharing.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Networks. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week with more information from Sharegiver Solutions. Feel free to visit our website, sharegiversolutions.com. Leave your information if you like, any questions you might have, and we look forward to speaking with you. Thanks so much.
So long.